Hello, Tara here. First of all, Julia, I'm so glad that you posted so I don't have to have two of me in a row again. In response to your video, background music, I am a big fan of background music, and I think it adds a lot to the feel of the show or the play or whatever you're watching. My most listened to CD on iTunes is still the soundtrack from the first and second seasons because I got it and it's literally all I listened to for about a year and a half. But all of the music is brilliant. Murray Gold can just take all the awards. But I think that's my favorite, like, background music for television and movies. I don't have very many. I don't listen to it, like, outside of watching the movie. But I always appreciate it when I'm at the movies, if that counts. Also, good luck with Reichenbach. I too will be watching Reichenbach tonight, so that's fun. But it'll be like my 12th time or something. My friend and I are having a Sherlock marathon, and we're going to watch all the ones with commentary, so that'll be cool. If you haven't noticed, I'm home. I'm on spring break, and all I've been doing this week is homework and book hunting. I don't really buy anything when I'm at school, like during the school year, because there's really nothing to buy. So whenever I come home, I feel like I have an excuse to just go buy tons and tons of books, which is probably not the best plan, but I really like it, so I'm just going to keep going with that. And so yesterday I went to Barnes & Noble and I went to Half Price Books and I got a ton, but I'm not going to talk about those because I found something interesting today at Hi Brothers, which is my favorite used bookstore, and I think it has connections to our general topic of conversation. I always go check the Arthur Conan Doyle shelf because there is an entire shelf of Arthur Conan Doyle things, and they're books either about him or about the Sherlock series or books that he's written, obviously. And so today I was flipping through the shelf, looking at all the new things that weren't there the last time, and I found this book. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty cool. A Conan Doyle, His Last Bow. And this was actually published in, I think, 1917, maybe? Yeah, I don't know when it was copyrighted in 1917, but I don't know when if this exact printing is from 1917 or not. So I bought this because I don't have this particular copy, obviously. I have kind of a problem with collecting these. But the most interesting thing is I flipped it open and I saw these paper clips. So I was like, paper clips, what? And I took it out, and I don't know how to get it back in without ripping. But connected to the paper clips was this piece of newspaper, and it says August 16th, 1930 in the corner. And so I figured it had to have something to do with Sherlock Holmes. Inside of it is this story by Arthur Conan Doyle, and I'll show you. The article is called What They Think of Us in England, and it says, a famous British writer's conception of our social system, as embodied shortly before his death in a story entitled The Last Resource by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And it has an editor's note, and it talks about this is the last story received from him in this country before his death on July 7th, and it talks about, it says, his last Sherlock Holmes story appeared in these pages in March 1927. We tried to persuade him to write more about Holmes, but he said he was through with the great detective and stuck to his determination to go no further with him. So this most famous figure in modern fiction came to the end of his adventures, though twice before, after his career had been definitely ended by the author. Sir Arthur yielded to popular demand and brought the detective back to life. Vast amounts were paid for the Holmes stories and the dramatic rights in the plays made from them. For its own use of the stories, Liberty paid 75 cents a word. So this is an American publication, and then it publishes basically Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's views of the American social system. And I haven't had time to read it because, again, I'm really scared of turning the pages because it's already ripped in the corner. But it's quite long. And it's got nice illustrations, and it's from 1930. The book was only $8, so obviously I bought it, and it's worth it because it has the cool newspaper clipping. Also, side note, I don't know if you realize, but old books, their edges are like this, and I learned in my American Lit class that the edges are all rough like that, not because that's how the paper was made, but because when the books were printed, they were printed in either quartos or folios, and it, depending on the type, depended on where the fold was, but they would come to you and it would be bound, and you would have to use like a letter opener to slice the pages yourself, and that's why they're all rough on the edges, because people actually went through and sliced them. If you have an uncut copy of a book, it's worth a lot more, but I don't know. Interesting fact of the day. That's all I have to talk about. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you next week on Tuesday again.